Howdy doodly gang, hope you're all having a fantastic week. That was such a pretty piece of music, and it was inspired by Rabea Massad, who is an incredible guitar player. His chord work is just fantastic. He has a new album out. His band Tosca has a new album out, which I actually have somewhere here, I think. Yay, I've got it here. And it's called Fire by the Silos. I haven't listened to it yet. I need to listen to this because I know it's going to be just awesome and filled with chords like this that I'm going to show you now. And it's a very simple theory about how he kind of constructs chords. It's basically the root and the third, but it's just done in such a beautiful way, and it just creates these beautiful lush guitar parts. And I've just unconsciously used this kind of methodology with chords many moons ago when I recorded Circle of Fire, and there are a couple of tracks on there which actually use similar types of chords and the theory behind it, etc. So I am going to show you the Rabea Massad chord, yeah, because you guys know you want to learn it and put it into your playing, and go on wonderful tangents with all that reverb and stuff. Yeah. All right, let's get our zen on and let's play some guitar. How good does that sound? Alright, I'm going to turn down the reverb because it's way too much right now. Sounds so good though. It's lovely. Alright, I'm just going to quickly kind of just turn it down just a touch, and the delay as well, just so that I can give you a nice explanation of what I did. The Rabea Massad chord. Now, like I said, Rabea is an incredible guitar player, one of my favorite guitar players actually, and just the way he kind of thinks about chords has changed the way I think about chords, especially in drop tuning like I am now. Now, stuff like that I was doing way back when. You can check some of that stuff out on my album Circle of Fire. And there's a song called Now You're Gone, where I kind of use that transition. And also Stop Laughing. I used all sorts of kind of weird shapes and hand positions, and I can't remember exactly how I did it, but it was really interesting watching Rabea's playing and figuring out some of what he was doing. So when I played that track at the beginning, I was playing in the key of A minor. And then the chords that I was playing, for the most part, what I'm doing is I'm playing the root and the third and kind of cutting out most of the rest of it for the most part. So the very basic would be like this. So there, what I did was I started off on the 3rd fret of the low string, which is a whole step down, and my whole guitar is tuned down half step, so it would be an E. Now if I played the E major chord, then I'd have to bounce across to the 1st fret of the B string, E string. I would play it like that. So I'm playing my root, my 5th, octave, and my 3rd. And what I'm doing is I'm just playing the root and the 3rd. And it gives this really beautiful tone, especially when you have the reverb and the delay going. Alright, so I started off with that. Then I moved over to the 6th fret of the low string, and this time I'm going to the 4th fret of the G string. Now this is actually turning it into a major there, and usually in the sequence I should go to the 5 on the low string and the 4 on the G string. but he often goes to the 6th fret and then over to the 7th fret and switching over to the 5th fret of the G string. Now here I created a little chord there, which I'm adding in one more tone, which is this, which is the 8th fret of the B string, and I'm also now barring off the 5th fret of the high E string as well, so I can play that. Arpeggiate it, do whatever I need to. And then I kind of work back on myself. And at that point I did go to the 5 and the 4 on the low string and the G string. Then what I decided to do is, rather than go to the minor, which would be the natural progression, I went to the major there. Just because it sounded good. Kind of a little bit Spanish sounding, a little bit Phrygian, which is very, very nice and pleasant. And then I worked my way up. Then I've come up one more position, so this time I'm going to the 9th fret of the low string and the 7th fret of the G. And then I'm coming back 2 frets, so 7th fret of the low string, 5th fret of the G. Then I went over to the 10th fret of the low string and the 9th fret of the G. And this time I added in a couple more notes. So on the B string, I added in the 12 and then the 10. Then I transitioned over to the 12 on the low string, and this time I'm adding in the 10 on the G string. And again, I'm going to add in 2 more notes on the B string, which are going to be the 13 and the 12. Then I went over to the 14 on the low string and the 13 on the G, and this time I'm going to add in the 15 on the B. Just love the way that chord sounds. And then I added in some notes on the E string, so I switched over to my 3rd finger being on the G string, and I'm using my pinky to stretch over to the 17 on the E string and then the 16. And then I went back to my root chord, but this time I changed it. Rather than playing an A minor like I did at the beginning, I played an A minor 7. And I borrowed from Jimmy Page. And then I ended it with that. Just ping the strings at the end past the nut. So there you go, guys. Really simple theory, just the root and the 3rd. Create some beautiful, beautiful lines there. So there you go. And there you go. Doesn't this guitar sound good? It plays so well as well. I'm so glad I bought this Harley Benton guitar. And I've got a bunch of videos on this, so I'll link some of them up here so that you guys can go and check them out, because this really is a beautiful guitar. And once I changed out the pickups to the iron gears, the tone is just like, it just draws you in. Anyways, there is the Rabea Massad chord, or what I call the Rabea chord. I'm coining that phrase today. So, learn it, love it, play it, put it in your own playing. You know, it's a lovely, lovely thing to do in dropped tuning, and probably regular tuning as well. I just haven't worked it out in regular tuning. Yeah. Alright guys, have a great week, and if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up as well. It would be much, much, much appreciated. Alright, I shall be back for more really soon. In the meantime, have a beautiful, beautiful day, guys. See you soon. Bye.